Hey guys, welcome to Flat Top King. Hey, you guys have asked for it and I think we've answered. Steak fajita nachos. We've got a fantastic idea for you. I just want you to see the beefy, the cheesy, the beanie, the smoked queso that we've actually divided into two videos. You guys watch this. All right, let's do a quick rundown of ingredients. We have corn tortillas. Use your favorite. We happen to like these. We're going to season these tortilla chips after they come out with some of this stuff. I've been hooked on it lately. I'm telling you. Some green onions, some cilantro. For our pico, tomato, onion, cilantro, jalapeno, lime, garlic, and salt. We got our vegetables of our choice for the fajita style. We got some whole pinto beans we're going to season up and then smash just a little bit. And then, of course, that marinated beef. Let me show you how we made that. All right, just to make the meat, I'm going to show you guys this little mix-up. We have the recipe right here on our website. I'm going to go by it pretty much exactly the way it is. I'm going to do some changes that I like. So far, this has been absolutely fantastic. Probably one of the better ones that we've ever done. But I am going to add a couple different things. Smoked paprika versus regular paprika. Some hot sauce. I'm omitting the orange juice today. Just because it's not the flavor profile, kind of want to go with the nachos. All right, so really quickly, we have a chuck roast, okay? And this is the idea behind the madness. You can buy ground chuck, okay? And you can buy steak. But what if you combine them together, right? So the idea is I'm going to slice the chuck roast thin. I'm going to marinate it in the wet marinade. And then we're going to put it on the griddle at a high temp and sear it off really fast. Then take it off and chop it like crazy. And it's going to imitate like a carne asada or like a rough chop grind or something like that, okay? Today I'm just basically playing with my meat. That's how we're doing it. All right. First things first, in the marinade I want to get done. I have 1 clove of garlic, extremely large clove of garlic, a little bit of brown sugar. Like I said, this recipe, you guys can check it out on our website, theflattopking.com. Ooh, that lime's juicy. Yep, I want this to be more like a paste, like not necessarily just straight up liquid. So,
salt.
A little coarse black pepper. And that's going to get us extremely, extremely close. Now that is full of flavor. Show you guys really quick. Kind of like something like that right there. Now you can have your butcher do this. I've seen these chuck roasts sliced thin, but this was on sale. And I thought, why not? Some of this gristly stuff you can take out. And then you can save this for grinds and stuff like that.
Do we know how large that chuck roast was?
2.74 pounds. You didn't think I'd know that answer, would you? All right, just like that. Now this is going to go in the refrigerator for several hours. Probably today, probably close to 2 to 3 hours. Okay, I really want that sauce to penetrate. Golly, if you could just smell the aromas. Did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, something like that right there. I don't know if we can get a good shot of this, but you see how much moisture and how flavorful this meat's going to be? How it's coated nicely. It's got a nice consistency to it as well. It's not just pure water. That's what I'm looking for. The pineapple juice is really, really, really going to help tenderize it. All right, a couple hours. And we will be right back. All right, the reason why we decided to fry our own tortillas is because what we found in the past when we make our nachos ourselves, that your standard store-bought tortilla chips are typically thinner, crispy to the crunch max, but they don't handle the weight, the cheese, the steak, the beans, you name it. They just like dissolve and get all kind of like nastiness. When you make your own, they are flipping fantastic. And I'm talking about fantastic. You get that?
That's
Yeah. Phenomenal is what I was going to say. And then fantastic came in. That's one of those culinary. All right. The point is, if you had not done this, you can testify.
You got to do it.
They are. They hold up better. They're addictive.
They are fantastic, yeah.
Cinnamon sugar on them. Drizzle a little honey.
On flour ones, but these are corn.
Honey, you can do it on any one you want to.
We like
you ever want to turn down dessert? All right. Very simple. Okay? Very simple. I'm just going to cut them probably in about quarters. Just like that. While our oil is heating up, let's make that pico. All right, fresh garden style tomato, just chopped. Little pinch of salt. Some pickled jalapeno. Garlic clove. I just love the freshness of pico and what it does. Obviously you can do your salsa, but I love fresh pico. Little sweet onion, cilantro, and the juice of a quarter lime. Oh, that's a juicy one. Well, we've had some juicy limes lately. They must have heard us complaining. And just gonna give this a toss, let it do its thing. That's why we're doing it now, so all these ingredients can marry together.
That's gonna be fantastic on those fresh fried tortilla chips.
All right, so for the fajitas, we're going to use some onions, some tri-colored peppers, cilantro, and green onion for garnish. So I'm gonna get some prep work done, and we'll start frying those chips. All right, just to give you an idea, the halo's on high and low. It's been on there for about 30 minutes. I actually started this with cold oil. Typically, I'll start the oil inside the stove or inside the house on the stove and warm it up to bring it out here so it just doesn't take as much time. But I get a lot of questions. Should I deep fry? How long should I deep fry? How long does it take to warm up oil? I've never known. So this is about 35 minutes and we've got it to about 365. Don't overcrowd your pan. Just make sure you keep mixing them around. A lot of that moisture will come out of it, and you'll notice that your oil starts to, what's it called? Like just get calmer. And then you want to make sure that you rotate your chips because they will get colored on one side. Let these chips go longer than expected. If you pull them too early, they're going to be like chewy. Okay, you want to get some color on these. See how the oil looks different? It's not as bubbly. A lot of that moisture from the tortilla is burned out. That's what you're looking for. See how much heat you lose when you start deep frying? Once you take these out, I'm not really a big fan of deep frying on the griddle to begin with, and that's one of the reasons why. It takes a long time for your oil to recover. But you just got to fight the urge. So when you do this, you got to make sure that you wait a couple seconds or minutes to bring your oil back up to temperature, so that way your next batch of chips have a chance to fry at the right temperature. Drain really well.
And it's been about 5 minutes.
All right. Light dusting of this. I was at a Mexican restaurant and they had this on the table and I could not stop eating it with my chips. So I'm not going to do every batch like this because I don't want to overpower the dish. But a couple chips here and there, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you make home fried tortilla chips. All right, so we're going to rotate batches back and forth.
If they don't have the Tajin or want to toss the chips in the Tajin, just salt, right?
Yes. All right, so we just opened that can of whole pinto beans. We're letting our oil heat back up, running through those batches of tortilla chips. I got some cumin. I'm just eyeballing this. Very common flavor, smoked paprika. I can't get enough of it lately. Not a lot. A little chili powder. And just a fresh little bit of salt. Fresh versus stale, I guess. I don't know. Just mix that together. I'm gonna do a light mash, but I want this to warm up really quick. Because you want to be able to spoon it on your chips. So we'll let this warm up. I'll show you really quick. Should be extremely close to our next batch anyways. Yeah, that's what you want to look at every single time you do your batches of chips. I have adjusted my griddle this side on high as well, so I've got 2 burners on high, just to be able to keep up with the temperature swings. All right, so we got our chips done. Everything's been tossed. Add a little salt. I did like vice versa, so sometimes I did that seasoning, sometimes I didn't. When I didn't, I added some salt, tossed them all together, and that's the finished product. The whole griddle's on or 3 burners on low. I'm just looking for a good saute on these vegetables. Even though the griddle is on low, it's a higher temperature than normal because we're just coming back off of calming down of deep frying, okay? Shake that, salt, pepper, garlic, and butter. All right, I caught myself doing something exactly that I try to teach you not to do. Let the vegetables go, okay? Don't turn them because I want that color on there. I like the char of the vegetables. That's a personal preference. So you want plenty of space, okay? Plenty of space. That's the color I'm talking about. Woo, that smells good. All right, these vegetables are not done, but we're going to use the griddle to our advantage. We have a lot of residual heat on the right side, even though it's off. So I'm just going to move these over here. I'm going to crank up this griddle, get it hotter than what it was, because we are going to use the halo to its full advantage. Be adding a bunch of meat to this griddle. We want the griddle to be able to keep up with the pace of the meat because we want a char on the meat. Since your meat is so thin, you don't want to overcook it, right? It's not like you're trying to have roast beef on the griddle. So having a good surface area, clean, hot, ready to go is important. We're going to add a little oil. And you're looking for that smoke, which means you're high enough to create smoke. So I'm probably in the 450 to 500 range, which is good enough for me. It smells so dang good. The pineapple, the chili powder, the smoked paprika. Don't overcrowd it. You want that sear mark, you want that char. All right, when your steak's got that nice char on it, so it looks something like that, that's what you want. Remember, when we're dicing this up, chopping it up rough, so all those individual charred pieces are going to get mixed in for flavor. Plenty of residual heat to keep that caramelization going. Oh, that smells good. Let your meat rest. While it's resting, I'm going to clean the griddle and finish up this. Alrighty, once your meat's rested, this is what I was talking about. Almost taking, the idea of like a diced chuck, right? You're going to grind it up. This kind of creates best of both worlds. The flavor's phenomenal. I mean,
Really
I'm in
good.
love with this recipe. But cut it up like this helps tenderize it as well. You're cutting it against the grain, with the grain, chopping all those little tendons up. It is so dang good. The char gets mixed up in there. All right, we got our beans done. I've got my steak chopped up. I got the chips done. We got our pico done. We got some sour cream, some guacamole, some jalapenos, some green onions, cilantro, and of course the star of the show is that smoked queso that I was telling you about earlier in the video. And this is that rice cooker. So look, don't think of it as just a rice cooker. There's so many other benefits that you could use, and this is just one of them. I mean, just look at that consistency. It holds at perfect temp. We got those smoked jalapenos. Oh, all right.
That's a super good cheese dip, by the way.
You ready to build?
Oh, yeah.
I've been asked several times for nachos since game day's right around the corner.
This is how you do nachos.
We don't play around, I'm telling you. If you haven't done your refried beans from scratch, you should.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that. So much better than opening a can. And it's really easy.
Adding those seasonings helps.
And frying your own chips.
Well, that's true, because look how stiff they are.
I mean, they are fantastic. And the Tajin seasoning on there
You're right.
is so good. Just adds a little bit of like citrus.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Let's build them. Smoked queso. Kind of like chunky / loose. Seasoned refried beans. Way, way, way better than what you would get at the restaurant. I'm telling you, it's the little things that go a long way. Textural, flavor, color. Oh my God, I love beans.
Leave some for the kids because they'll eat them plain.
I love the beans. Topping it with those fajita peppers. Now, if you notice when we did the peppers, I don't like adding a lot of seasonings because I enjoy the flavor of the peppers. Give them that char is something I look forward to. So I don't like over seasoning the vegetables. Come back in that steak, mix up with all them juices. Now this is what you call a portion for one.
A little more cheese, what the heck?
I mean,
it's so good, you can't not add more.
okay. Do your best to drain that juice. That fresh tomato. This is actually why I didn't add tomato to my fajita mix, because there's going to be so much tomato in the pico. A couple of sour cream dollops. Our local grocery store has some fantastic pre-made guacamole, so there's no reason for me to make it. It's a good value, and it tastes so dang good. Green onions. Cilantro. And I absolutely love jalapenos. Right there in the middle. Right there. There you go. For all the people asked about it, maybe just a quick squeeze of lime. There you go. People wanted nachos. People wanted game day appetizers. People wanted stuff off the griddle. I got you. Really and truly, words can't describe what this is doing to me. That smoked queso recipe will be on our website, along with that steak marinade that we made.
I mean, if you serve that to your friends for a football party, they may never leave. They're just going to show up every day at your front door.
You can keep filming. I'm going to keep eating.
Golly.
Chip integrity.
It just
Chip
looks so good.
Not one chip yet has broken. I try to teach you the fundamentals of cooking while I do it. I do think certain things are important when you do stuff.
Oh, give me that bite.
And frying your own tortilla chips, regardless of how advanced you are, should be a fundamental staple in every single house because of the benefit you get. You get to add that little Tajin seasoning too.
The thing is each individual component is perfect. The chips, the steak, the peppers, the beans, the pico.
Hitting the nail on the head, kid. All right, there you go. I'm gonna go enjoy it. Like I said, this is a party of one. If you guys are interested, we have a join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Check out our recipes on theflattopking.com. Also, you guys can check us out, The Griddle Group on Facebook, so where we talk about griddles, where a lot of people have been coming lately and said, what about nachos? Nacho this, nacho that. Nacho me this. That's what I'll say, because it's game days right around the corner. And this will be fantastic at any tailgate, any house, any game that you could possibly think of. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends.
We're eating. It's so good. It's so stinking good.